Moving into the 1940s, the beginning of World War II had started to affect the people in America. Many students and staff turned their attention to the war and made it their duty to serve in the military. By 1941, the school had started their first air raid drills in response to the war. Mr. Randall and the faculty committee reviewed the students' curriculum to meet the war effort requirements. What was previously the Model Plane Club quickly became a club that made models for the government to help train people in the Army to spot airplanes. East had now transformed a good portion of their curriculum to help train students for war production. East had suffered its first loss when a 1939 graduate student by the name of James Strauss had been reported missing in April of 1942. James's mother was reportedly very proud of her son and always looked forward to the letters that she would receive from him. Students at the school would continue to host events with patriotic themes in honor of the sacrifices being made by their people. The somber news didn't lift, as in 1943, the owner of the Tower store, William Schmitz, would pass away. East honored his memory by naming an athletic trophy after him. This trophy would be awarded to multiple male athletes down the years at East High School. By May 16, 1945, East held a service in the honor of the servicemen they lost in the war. By the end of the war, a total of 74 East lives had been lost. Despite the heavy losses East was facing, the students kept their heads up and continued marching forward with their lives. 1942 showed the first club featuring hockey as a main sport in the history of East. Around this time, a single student had raised over $18,000 to purchase a training plane for the Air Corps. By the end of the war, many faculty members had returned to East, as well as many young students who had yet to complete their education. Many students who were former soldiers said they viewed the student body as much younger and immature, having been in the military. Many of those students would earn their diplomas and move on to pursue their careers. There were multiple changes to the sports club at East. Mr. Brill became the new tennis coach in 1948. On his first day of teaching practice, only 4 students had shown up. By the end of the week, however, that number had tripled. The new coachman leadership had certainly grown on the students. The football team had claimed yet another football championship, this time under Coach Muller. The former football coach, Mr. Barrett, had stepped down as the coach the year prior, and Mr. Muller took his position and ran with it. Even with all of the difficulties and losses East had gone through, they kept the community alive and the student spirit never dwindled.